I've got to share something here. We're going to be playing this game, but before I get to this game, I've got to share something kind of important and near and dear to me, so bear with me here. There's this Facebook group called IRL Loading Screens, and they've been going strong for a hot minute. And it's basically just video game images that are set up in a way to show maybe some true facts, maybe some interesting facts, maybe some controversial facts. It's a meme page. And it started kind of in the vein of a loading screen. Like, you know, while the game's loading, it'd be like, tip, you can do this, and be pretty fucking obvious, but maybe you didn't know that. It's also been kind of popular for the news of individuals who have passed to be posted with the Elder Scrolls. With this character's death, the thread of prophecy is severed. I'm more than just a fan of it. This has been going on for a while I've gone through some hard things in my life, so kind of a big portion of, okay, like here's an example of tip. Drive very closely to semi-trucks, especially in their blind spots. Their drivers are very friendly and love the company. And on the 60th birthday, Saddam Hussein commissioned the creation of a Quran inked entirely in his own blood. After his fall, its location has been kept secret. It is said that whoever attains this tome will unlock unspeakable power. I'm guessing that's not how that actually works.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But anyways, so the same person who's behind this also came out with a game that they've been teasing for a while. And it was supposed to have come out sometime last week, but I'm guessing there was some sort of complication. And we're going to play that. It's called the Trolley Problem game. Now, what do y'all know about the trolley problem? So basically, there's a trolley, and you're at the trigger or the lever. And allegedly, this lever lets you decide if it's going to go one way or if it's going to change and go the other way. And one side has certain types of people tied to the track, and the other side has other types of people. And whoever tied these people to the track aren't held accountable. Whoever designed this system is not held accountable. The driver of the trolley, who could hit the brakes at any damn time, is not held accountable. But you are held accountable. That makes no sense to me, but what do I know? One thing I do need to point out is, for some reason, the music and the sound effects are the same setting, and there's not a way to turn it down, so I either have it on or off, and that's kind of irritating to me, because when I'm streaming, I like to have it turned down a little bit. So we won't be listening to all of the great music that's added in with this, so apologies in advance to the 3 or 4 people that care about that. And then you can change the blood to be off, low, or high. And we've got start or continue. Apparently there's 333 problems. All right, y'all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
One person who will be crushed to death by the trolley if you do pull the lever. 5 people who will be crushed to death by the trolley if you don't pull the lever. And this is the lever. So should I kill 1 person or 5?
Why? Then there's less mouth to feed.
I like the way you think. Let's see what happens. All right, and they're all dead now. And Kant says it is murder to pull the lever. Exactly. See, I'm smart. I'm smart. Jeremy Bentham says the most ethical decision here would be to pull the lever to spare 5 lives. The blood of these 5 people are on your hands. Well, he doesn't know nothing, okay? Jeremy Bentham, I don't know who you are. I'm going to find out what your Twitter handle is, and we're going to have words. Go away. All right, 5 people who will be crushed to death by the trolley if you do pull the lever. But if I don't pull the lever, only 1 person will die. So what's the correct response here?
Go for broke. See how high you can get your body count.
All right, well, it's too late. I wasn't fast enough. Oh yeah, you pretty much just murdered 5 people. But I didn't. I only murdered 1. Kant says it is murder to pull the lever. So 1 person who will be crushed to death by the trolley if you do pull the lever. But 5 people, 2 of which are organ donors. 9 lives will be saved if these 5 people are killed by the trolley, which will happen if you don't pull the lever. Well, we want to pull the lever then, so I don't know why. The organ donors deserve to live, so that's what we're going to say. Jeremy Bentham says, by killing 5 but saving 9, you would have had a net increase of 4 lives. Instead, you've led to the deaths of those people, which isn't how that works at all. The professor says, in 2015, a mother in the UK took her child to full term, knowing it would die shortly after birth in order to use its organs to save others' lives. She's a utilitarian hero? What? Okay, so should I kill Hitler before he took power or Stalin before he took power?
Stalin.
D, any thoughts on this? D? D, you're gonna get Stalin killed. Okay, good job, D. You killed Stalin. Kant says it's murder to pull the lever. We can't really know who was worse than the other, so it's better to stay out of this. LOL. I am reasonably sure that Kant never said LOL.
True.
Like, I wasn't around him all the time. Maybe like he slipped in a couple of racial slurs and then LOL at the end, but I think that was a little after his time. Was putting that out there. One person who's an organ donor, enough organs will remain intact to save 3 lives if they're killed by the trolley, or I can kill no one. What's this exclamation mark do? Oh, that makes it go faster. What? I have a multi-track drifting button.
Now I know the proper answer.
Jeremy Bentham says, by killing 1 but saving 3, you've led to a net crease of 2 lives. Good work. Oh my gosh. But by using that, I seem to have broken it, so I think I broke the game. So let's see if it saved any of my progress. It did not. Debug, reset all data, or report a bug. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of... Buddy, I'm not going to choose just one of these. This is irritating. Why would I do that? So, I've got to explain a little bit to this.
Okay.
One of the long-running in-jokes of the community started when The Last of Us, you're all familiar with The Last of Us, right? Joel goes out of his way to protect a girl who's okay with the idea of being giving her life away for medical research that would have cured the virus, because as it's presented, I don't know if it's a bit or not, the creator of the group is very anti-Joel. And this has created some fantastic discussion and, of course, 3 or 4 memes along the way. All right, anyways. So I guess we got to start all over again. 1 person will be crushed to death, or 5 people. We will do... We're going to crush 5 people. Nope, we're just crushing 1 person, I guess. In this instance, Jeremy Bentham says the end always justifies the means, and here you made the right decision, sparing 5 lives in exchange for 1. But Kant says it is murder to pull the lever. You have no obligation to intervene. The blood of this person is on your hands. All right, 5 people will be crushed to death if I do pull the lever. 1 person will be crushed to death if I don't.
You're
All
back
right.
to that one again.
So, yeah, we had to start all over because the game essentially soft-locked. Kant says it would have been murder to pull the lever. Yeah, pretty much. Jeremy Bentham says you saved the lives of 5 people by not pulling the lever. That's great. 1 person will be crushed to death if you do pull the lever, and 5 people, 2 of which are organ... Yeah, whatever. So we want to pull the lever. And then you can argue about it. I'm curious what happens when I click on the Facebook. Why is it you expect me to go back in time to 2022 to make a post about this game? People on Twitch are seeing that you are making me do this, bro. So they've been working on this for a hot minute. They've been saying it's going to be available on Steam soon for a hot minute. So this is where the multi-track drifting option comes into play. So you can take out both Hitler and Stalin. Jeremy Bentham says, I see you've discovered the multi-track drifting button. This can be useful in some limited situations.
Yeah,
All right.
like the situation in which we see how high we can get our body count.
I like that. So we're not going to attack the 1 person, I guess. By killing 1, but yeah, we got that last time. One of the easiest things you can do to improve the lives of others is to volunteer as an organ donor. Your organ will serve no utilitarian purposes to you after your death and will either be removed or burnt if you're cremated or embalmed. Who is this professor? So do I want to take out 5 American lumberjacks or 5 American firefighters?
Yes.
Jeremy Bentham didn't like that. The professor says the amount of American firefighters who die on the job annually is roughly 6 per 100,000, as opposed to 92 per 100,000 for American logging workers. This high fatality rate makes logging work the second most dangerous job in the United States. Roofers have the third most dangerous job in the United States, losing 47 work. You know what? I don't know who this professor is, but I also don't care. Do I want to take out 5 American roofers or 5 American firefighters? I don't know. I'm a little curious. There's a skip option. Let's skip it. One healthy person who will be crushed to death by the trolley if I pull the lever, or 5 cancer patients, each with a 10% chance of survival, who will be crushed to death by the trolley if you don't pull the lever. I guess. And I got Jeremy Bentham didn't like that again, which... A person who is generally happy almost all the time, or 3 people with an incurable form of chronic depression. Well, that's obvious. No one's gonna be happy.
There's something wrong with them.
But you're not so happy now, huh? Jeremy Bentham says that unhappy people take away from the aggregate happiness. To be constantly unhappy is a fate worse than death. That's great. I don't really care. It puts a high value on any treatment or quality of life improvements that can alleviate depression. It should not be viewed as though depressed people are not worthy of life. But now you should have a good understanding of what utilitarian characters determine to be a good and utilitarian decision. Would you like to play the rest of the game in utilitarian mode? You will receive a score on whether or not your decision utilitarian. Or free play mode, score isn't recorded. There will be no negative consequences for disagreeing with any of the characters. And they misspelled characters. So I'm going to continue to do free play mode. I'm not a big fan of utilitarian mode in and of itself. So do I want to kill 5 85-year-old men or 1 16-year-old girl? Well, if I can't kill the old men, I'll be considered, like, misogynist. Fortunately, I'm more into misandry, so there she goes. If everyone here dies at the average life age of less than 102, their quality of life is the same and the grief caused to their families is negligible, then it's better to pull the lever. The girl will probably get much more happiness from her remaining 7 or so years than these 5 men would get from the remaining 5 or so combined. Mr. Calculator, shut the mister up. So, a guy who plays his guitar at parties or a guy who doesn't think the bus driver?
Doesn't think the bus driver.
What? Kill both of them? Got it. Just because these people have undesirable traits doesn't mean they should both be killed. The world is only better off without them if they're robbing others of large amounts of happiness. 28% of players pulled the lever. 71% did not. 71% killed the person who didn't think the bus driver then, basically. You're driving the trolley. Do I kill my mother or my current or future spouse? Sarah, I gotta choose which of these I'm gonna kill. I kill my mother or my current future spouse. Which is it gonna be? Oh no! I killed one of them. You have a duty to protect your loved one. Some duties are higher than others. Want to argue about it? And there's no Facebook link, just a Steam link.
Duty to protect your loved one. Are they saying that you can't love your mother and your future spouse at the same time?
Well, I'm guessing. My girlfriend was watching as I pulled the lever, so I'm sure that won't lead to an argument tonight. 48% of players pulled the lever, 51% did not. That's kind of neat. Do I want to pull the lever to get a grave robber who's robbed over 100 graves unbeknownst to the loved ones of the corpses he has robbed, and he'll rob 100 more before he dies? That's a bit wordy. Or a man who spends his weekends going to bars looking for fights to get into.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to kill either of them, to be honest with you. I guess
Yeah?
Grave robbing is a victimless crime, according to Jeremy Bentham. Do I kill me from the past or me from the future?
Well, if I killed you from the past, then you have no future.
Mr. Calculator says killing yourself from the past would have killed all 3 of you, shortening your lifespan to the age of your younger self. I did multi-track drifting, just so you know. Do I kill 5 reformed murderers who never received a punishment for their crime yet spend their days working for charities, or an average college student?
Average college student.
An average college student
relieve
just...
them of their debt.
Yeah, this will relieve them of their debt. I like the way you think. The evil and happiness caused by the murderers is over and done with. They only serve to create happiness now. Killing them now would not save the lives of the people they killed. I kind of like that, I'm not gonna lie. Now, do I want to kill an 80-year-old man or 5 puppies all with loving families at home?
The 80-year-old man, he kicked those puppies.
Okay, if you say so. Aww.
Well, they never said he did.
This man is near the end of his expected lifespan. Even if his consciousness and ability to enjoy happiness is magnitudes larger than the dog's, it's unlikely he has enough remaining time to experience it or to outweigh the potential happiness experience of the dogs, not to mention the amount of joy and happiness a dog provides a loving family. 5 kittens with loving families. Yes, I didn't even read what the next part of that was. Yeah. I gotta assert dominance and make sure that kittens know what happens to them when they step out of line. The amount of happiness a dog can experience in the presence of a human has developed to a greater extent than cats. Therefore, it's the right decision to save the puppies. Yeah. 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 You're reading this, kitten? You reading this? You paying attention? Okay, that's what happens to people when they're kittens and they cross me. So just pay attention. All right. Now, do I want to kill my mother or my father? That's easy. What the? Jeremy Bentham says, what the fuck is wrong with you? 28% of players pulled the lever, which would have killed the father and not the mother.
Just remember, if you pull the lever and kill your father, you can never come back with the milk.
I'm old enough to go get my own milk, so. Do I want to kill 3 humanity majors or 3 STEM majors? I don't know. That's kind of curious. Jeremy Bentham didn't like that. Humanities majors can potentially contribute far more to society than STEM majors, but probably not. LOL. Alright, do I want to kill an elephant or an elephant poacher who is the only source of income for a family of 5? He kills about 50 elephants every year. I think that if we were to weigh these on a 1-to-1, the elephant poacher, eliminating him. But the way I look at it is if I take out this elephant, like, the poacher can use the goods that are left behind. The amount of happiness this man will rob from the elephants. Elephants can't experience happiness. They're animals. They don't have souls. All right, do I want to kill 100 people or myself? Jeremy Bentham didn't like that? Why not? Why do we care what Jeremy Bentham has to say? So I can kill myself or 10 people.
I could kill the 10 people, or the 100 people in this case.
Why am I so concerned about what Jeremy Bentham has to say? You or 2 people? I'll be nice. I'll just kill the 2 people. Mr. Calculator says, you selfish prick. So I can kill a random person or my favorite pet. So my favorite pet would be Princess Kitten. A random person could be anyone. Which do you think, dear?
Random person.
Sorry. You need to understand that that's not acceptable. You need to make sure you put in your place. And Jeremy Bentham's just like, you can't do that. I can do whatever I want. I can kill myself or my favorite pet. Romeo and Juliet. Da, da, na, 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 na. Did you see how it cut that cat's head off? That's awesome. The professor says, depending on your living situation and how much your pet loved you, it may have been better for both of you to go. There are many stories of dogs who spend the remainder of their life waiting in desperation for their dead owner to return, or starve to death in agony after being neglected after their owner dies. Might have just been better to kill the pet unless you're horribly depressed with no hope of recovery. Multi-track drifting was the correct response in that instance. That's fantastic. So I can kill Jeremy Bentham. Oh, I'm sold. I didn't even bother to read who the other person was. I was like, yeah. Kant says, it is murder to pull the lever, but fuck that guy. I agree, Kant. I agree. Jeremy Bentham says, no, this isn't YouTube. I can kill all direct descendants of Genghis Khan that are currently alive, or every citizen of Iceland. There's like a lot of descendants of Genghis Khan, direct or otherwise. I don't know how many citizens are in Iceland, but I might as well just go for broke on this one, just because I can see that. Gotta love it. And of course, Jeremy Bentham didn't like that, was all I got in response to that. All right, I can take away 10 random years of my memory or 3 years of my lifespan. I mean, probably my lifespan. The professor says, we don't often think about how much of who we are as how much we remember. 70% of people did not pull the lever. All right, do I want to kill an American man who's usually rude to wait staff at restaurants but tips well, or an American man who's very polite and gracious to wait staff at restaurants but never tips? Tipping is a scam as American as apple pie, except I think apple pie might not actually be American. Yeah. Don't be rude to wait staff. While neither of these behaviors warrants a death sentence, with only the knowledge that at least one of them is going to die, we must choose a survivor based on these attributes alone. Yeah, pretty much. Do I want to kill a vegan or a meat-eating American lumberjack? That's easy, the vegan.
Vegan.
Goodbye, everybody. You've got to go. The average meat-eater will eat 7,000 animals in their lifetime. The American eat... Oh, my God. According to utilitarianism, you don't want to be a meat eater. I don't care. I want to kill the vegan? Yes. Oh, there's a gametarian, a hunter who only eats vegetables and the meat of the game he kills. Yeah, so that was the right choice. Goodbye, vegan. Although less important than humans, an animal's happiness and quality of life is important. No, it isn't. Sorry, kitten. Do I want to kill all the mosquitoes in the world or all murderers in the world?
Mosquitoes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would be surprised how their actions could be justified as being murderous in some ways. I understand that mosquitoes do serve a purpose and like a lot of animals eat them. Mosquitoes kill 1 million people every year with malaria alone. If an offender has committed murder, he must die. In this case, no possible substitute can satisfy justice. There's no parallel between death and even the most miserable life, so that there is no equality of crime and retribution unless the perpetrator is judicially put to death. Okay, can't. Whatever. The trolley crosses this path. All discarded straws in the ocean will cease to exist. And all discarded... Okay, so that's a multi-track drifting one. Nice. The world is much better off without either of these. See, I was smart. Fishing net composes 46% of all ocean plastic. By the way, straws make up about 1%. That's kind of a fun fact. Okay, I can do a cloning machine which would allow would-be parents to clone a newborn version of themselves or nothing. Jeremy Bentham says cloning machines do not create any harm. Yeah, whatever. Do I want to kill a 30-year-old guy who harasses women when they aren't interested in him on dating apps, or a 30-year-old guy who scams kids out of their items on RuneScape? Kids need to learn that you can't just trust random people on RuneScape, so... Well, neither of these behaviors warrants a death sentence, with only the knowledge... Yeah, we knew we needed to choose one person. That's great. Do I want to kill 10 men or all access to pornography in the United States? We're going to kill 10 men. That's an easy one. Good call. Studies have shown that men without an outlet for their sexual desires become much more violent and aggressive. It is certain that most of the male populace having increased violent tendencies will create much more harm than 10 deaths. Okay. Do I want to get rid of a crate of money I just found, or a little girl and a crate of money you just found? What? What? So I can destroy a crate of money or a crate of money with a little girl? Oh, whatever. I guess we're just going to kill the little girl. The professor says this is a recreation of the moral choice system from the original BioShock, a game renowned for its complex morality system. Do I want to kill Mr. Calculator or the professor? The professor says, no. Okay, the game of pachinko will be wiped from the earth if the trolley crosses this path. The entire Japanese fishing and forestry industries will be destroyed if the trolley crosses this path. I mean, I've never played pachinko, so we could probably go without it. Whoops, you just destroyed 4% of Japan's GDP and 0.3% of the entire world's GDP, not to mention 14% of all anime, which is used to make animations within the machines. Fishing and forestry in Japan only accounts for 1.9% of Japanese GDP combined. While fishing and forestry have a tiny overall impact on the environment, the Japanese fishing industry is responsible for endangerment of whales. Do I want to kill a Haitian child or a Scottish child who will live his entire life in East Glasgow, UK?
No, I didn't hear any good things about UK.
What about Yuki?
Quite proven.
Yeah, let's kill them both. Goodbye, kids. And Jeremy Bentham didn't like that. That doesn't tell me anything. All right, I can give 1 cow to be raised on a typical American factory farm or 200 chickens to be raised on a typical... I feel like whenever I hit the multi-track drift option... Oh, wow. Mr. Calculator says, since these are both raised on an American farm, it is best to end suffering from both of them. And Professor says cows and chickens have similar levels of intelligence, but 1 cow provides as many calories as roughly 200 chickens. There is therefore roughly 200 times more suffering required to create food from chicken than from beef. Everyone is making an important moral decision when they decide to choose between a beef or chicken quesadilla. All right. Do I want to ruin a random person's Stradivarius violin, a 17th century violin renowned for its unique sound, or do I want to kill a random person from a developing country? I don't know. There's a study done on Stradivarius violins comparing their sound to modern violins. In a double-blind test, experts were unable to distinguish between the two. The utilitarian value is not greater than a human life. All right, do I want to destroy all manga or all anime?
Neither.
We have to choose one, apparently. I know, I guess if we destroy all anime, we can recreate it off of the manga.
Yeah.
The professor says manga is superior to anime. Do I want to do 5 people who might donate blood once or twice in their entire lifetime, or a regular blood donor who has been responsible for saving dozens of lives and will save dozens more? Think of how many more lives they're going to serve when they're probably more likely to be a donor, an organ donor. So,
well, if you do the one that's been continuously donating, all you're doing is help him donate more faster.
That's what I thought, but apparently that wasn't the correct answer. If the trolley crosses this path, the 1918 flu pandemic won't happen, and if the trolley crosses this path, World War I won't happen. And I have to choose one. I can't just like stop the trolley. I don't know what the right answer here is.
You said that if it crosses that path, it won't happen? Well, that's the point. Multi-drift.
But that means both of them don't happen, and that's even worse than if just one of them doesn't happen. Oh, hey, we can skip it. There you go. All right, do I want to kill a waitress or 4 random people and Immanuel Kant himself? Kant says pulling the lever is no. Twitch, shoes fall off. All right, do I want to kill 6 androids who act exactly like human beings, possess no real consciousness, and cannot reproduce, or a human street sweeper operator? All right, we're going to kill the sweeper operator. These androids cannot feel happiness. Their lives are worthless besides what joy they bring other people, and it's likely not more than what Mr. Street Sweeper provides. And the game froze again. So he submitted this game weeks ago and AI rejected it and he hasn't been able to talk to a human since then.